Donald Trump's press secretary and senior campaign advisor and just a private person who supports Trump is Kayleigh McEnany. She has three roles, which she uses interchangeably depending on what's more convenient. Kayleigh McEnany did a dive directly into the deep end of the crazy pool with this Trump voter fraud stuff, and you really have to see it to believe it. Now, I know there's a long list of people who deserve to never work again after this Trump administration is all said and done. Kayleigh McEnany is certainly at the top of the list, a so-called Christian who lies daily for Donald Trump. And I know that when I say deserves to never work again, some people write to me, they say, David, are you advocating for people to starve? Are you saying she should be on the streets without food? No, Kayleigh can have food. I'm saying that in a fair world, she should be unemployable given her behavior as Trump press secretary. She's going to be fine financially. She's married to a professional baseball player. Don't worry. But she should be unemployable for the absolute atrocities she's been involved with during her time working for Trump. Now, White House press secretary Kayleigh McEnany goes on Fox News with Stuart Varney, Fox Business with Stuart Varney. And this time she's there not as press secretary, but as a Trump campaign advisor. And she is asked, is Donald Trump going to go to President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration? And she says, well, the president will attend his own inauguration.
Are you prepared to say that the President Trump will definitely attend the inauguration?
Again, that's many steps away here. We're talking January, and President Trump believes he will be President Trump, have a second term, and litigation is the first step, many steps away from that.
It would look pretty bad if he did not attend the inauguration. It would look like sour grapes, wouldn't it?
I think the president will attend his own inauguration. He would have to be there, in fact.
Does anybody fall for that? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. A recent poll shows 86% of Trumpists believe Joe Biden did not legitimately win. 60% of Trump voters believe that what Trump is doing will overturn the results and will lead to Trump getting a second term. We watch this. You and I watch this. Normal people watch this and we say, who could possibly believe this stuff? Well, 86% of Trump voters, which is about 62 million people, believe it was stolen from Joe Biden. 43 million people are sitting there expecting that Trump tweeting and filing bogus lawsuits will lead to Trump being president for a second term. Then on Friday, or maybe this was Saturday night, the same Kayleigh McEnany appeared on Fox News and referred to an election epidemic, which is both hilarious, but also she's onto something in a certain way. Let's take a look.
Sean, is they seized on a global pandemic and created an election epidemic. And we saw it happening. I remember the campaign attorneys coming to the president and say, we're fighting this in court and this in court, and they're trying to extend the deadline here. And it was like whack-a-mole.
Now, first of all, she'd be far more convincing if she held up pieces of paper. She should be holding up reams of paper to be more credible. That's usually her move. But what she says in election epidemic, it was an epidemic of people voting. We had massive turnout. It turns out if you make it easier for people to vote, like expanding early voting and expanding absentee and vote by mail, more people vote. We've had over 151 million votes counted so far. That's the epidemic. People will vote if you make it easier. And it's very clear that that's not a great thing for Donald Trump and for the Republican Party. Kayleigh deserves to never work again. I don't want her to starve. I want her to be able to feed her children, but she should be unemployable for the grift that she has participated in for the last several years. But if you look online, you know that right-wing grifting can actually be very, very profitable. Kayleigh's going to do just fine, my friends. I want to let you know that our sponsor, Vincero Watches, is having a massive holiday sale on all of their products right now, and you can take advantage of it by going to davidpakman.com/watch. A brand new high quality wristwatch really is the perfect way to add something fresh to your style, whether it's for you or a gift for someone else. Vincero is a brand that has a serious dedication to the craft of watchmaking, which is really evident when you look closely at their watches. I wear Vincero watches myself. Lately, I've been wearing one from their Icon Automatic collection. It's the mesh matte black watch, and I love the sleek minimalist design. Their watches are actually sold at a fair price. Their mission has always been to make a wristwatch from high-end materials, but one that everyday people can afford. And that's why they have over 25,000 five-star reviews, because you won't find a better made watch for this great of a price anywhere else. You can get big holiday discounts on all of their products right now and free shipping when you go to davidpakman.com/watch. I've put the link right underneath this video.